What's up, y'all, man? King Carlos here. Back with another video, man. Y'all know how a nigga do. Want to speak on a Joe Budden podcast, bro. Joe Budden responding to Andrew Schultz and Charlagmane the God and the Indian dude. I don't know his name. And he was speaking facts. Man, put it like this: a lot of people. I said this on my last video. I'm gonna reiterate a lot of what I said in the last video. And the only reason I'm saying this is because Joe Budden spoke on it. Charlamagne the God has worked at iHeart for 10 years. He's put the Breakfast Club on his back. He's built it, bro. There would be no Breakfast Club if it wasn't for Charlamagne the God. Alright? It wouldn't. It probably wouldn't be a... I don't even know what radio station that is, but the Breakfast Club is the only thing I hear from it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you. I know the radio station's iHeart, but it's like Power 104, some shit. He put that on his back, right? Charlamagne the God should have some stock at the radio, at iHeart Radio. He's put the company on his back. They wouldn't have the revenue they have without him. He should be taken care of. They should take care of Charlamagne the God. Yet they haven't. Charlamagne the God has constantly re-signed contracts to come back to the iHeart Radio. Charlamagne God now is even starting a podcast, where he's going to actually, instead of him putting his own money into it, where Charlamagne has a lot of his own money, Charlamagne is paid. Instead of him putting the work in and putting the money into it, he's going to let them put the money into it. He's going to let them sponsor it, and he's just going to put the content out and just let them pimp his content. And they're going to put him in all different states. What Joe Budden was speaking to Charlamagne was, well, if you had ownership, Charlamagne, of your shit, if you had ownership of your voice, ownership of your podcast, ownership of your likeness instead of signing to iHeart, you could easily do a 50-50 with a real 50-50 with him. Instead of a fake 50-50 where you sign to them and have all the leverage. They just tell you it's 50-50 so you feel like you're not getting fucked in the ass without Vaseline, even though clearly that's what's going on. Charlamagne the God is one person. iHeart is an entire entity. But if Charlamagne the God owned his rights and owned his shit, and he came there like a shareholder, he came there like somebody who owns his shit, who's just going to let them borrow and lease it, Charlamagne the God can be getting paid for every station, every fucking state that they put him in. Every station that they play that, every outlet they play that his podcast on, but he won't. And because Joe Budden wants ownership, because Joe Budden wants to own, knows how much his shit is worth, he knows how much he's worth. You got Charlamagne the God, and in my eyes, Charlamagne the God is jealous because I already spoke on it how he know Joe Budden. He already knew Joe Budden had the potential to do what he's doing now. He already knew Joe Budden had the potential to be great. I'm not gonna waver off what I said because I truly believe Charlamagne the God felt that way. He knew Joe Budden was gonna be good. That's why he hating like he is. I'm playing Master's good boy and saying, hey man, you know, sign, get the bag. It's about chasing the bag. All that ownership stuff is why. You know what's crazy? Charlamagne the God just doesn't like to be liked. Just doesn't like to be disliked. He just doesn't like to be disliked. Why? Because these corporate heads are going to dislike you and try to put your shit down. But guess what, Charlamagne? Your content, your greatness, you don't have to sign. Check this out. This is what ownership does. How many times, you watching this video, how many times have you seen a movie that's like basically a white movie, and they got like a real badass hip-hop song, an old school hip-hop song from like 2001, 2002. It gives you nostalgia, it hype you up, it go hard. You know what I'm saying? They'll play some old Method Man and Redman. They'll play some DMX. They'll play some Michael Jackson. They might play some Aretha Franklin. They might play some Marvin Gaye. They might play some Snoop Dogg. They might play some Mac 10. They might play some fucking Jay-Z. They might play some 8-Ball MJG. They gonna play some shit, right? They might play some Lil Boosie. Songs that give you nostalgia. You want to know why those companies, those movies can play those? You know why those people can put those songs in those movies? Because those white and those Jewish guys, they know the people who own these record labels, who own the rights to all these songs. They just call their buddies up and say, hey man, I want to put Wipe Me Down in the next, say they make another fraternity movie. What's that shit with Seth? Ain't that Seth Rogen and that chick where they live next to fraternities, say they make another one of those. We want to make another fraternity comedy movie with Seth Rogen, and we want to use Boosie and Webby Wipe Me Down. We want to use Shake It Like a Salt Shaker by the Yin Yang Twins, and we also want to use Hard Knock Life by Jay-Z. Well, guess what? They just call up the people who own Rockefeller, who own Universal, who own these companies that own these masters, because these guys signed contracts and signed away their likeness and their rights to their best hits, to their money, to their bread-winning songs. And guess what? They get them on there. Guess what? If a black movie comes out right now and they have like a badass fight scene, they can't use a song by the band Disturbed. They can't use a badass song by Trapped, the old school band Trapped, if y'all know who that is. They can't use the Bee Gees. They can't use the Bee Gees in like a black comedy movie where they have, y'all know I can't think of the damn name, bro. They can't use Stand Alive by the Bee Gees. They can't just fucking use a Beatles song in the next Best Man's the Best Man movie. You know what I'm talking about? The one they got with Morris Chestnut and Tay Diggs and all them. You wanna know why? Because they don't own the right. Because those people own the rights to those songs, not those labels. Most white artists own the masters to their songs. Because guess what? Their buddies tell them, "Hey man, go ahead and get your cut." That's called white privilege. But they and guess what? They know that shit is not that as profitable as it is. It's because it's white and they promote it to the T. But guess what? It's not nearly as profitable. It's not nearly as popular as the catalog from the Yin Yang Twins. It's not nearly as popular as Jay-Z's catalog. It's not nearly as popular as Tupac's catalog. Which y'all just seen the white dude on that goddamn presentation that owns Death Row and all that shit. So guess what? He owns the rights. He could put Tupac's music in any corny ass white movie he want and break in billions off the soundtrack. That's what ownership is, guys. That's what Joe Budden is speaking about. Charlagmane the God is just being an idiot. It's the truth. Andrew Schultz, you just a fucking ass kisser, my nigga. You don't know shit. You don't even like Joe. Andrew Schultz come off like... Andrew Schultz is just like Vlad, just like Adam 22. These people play like the guys of they love black people, but they're just like liberals. In the back of their mind, they think that they know what's best. It's not that they care about black people and they want to join the cause. They figure they can lead the cause. White people are the first people to deputize themselves, and white people in every facet try to cut black people down when it comes to being leaders. Every time a black person tries to lead something or own something or say that he wants to stand for something true, you got some white guy coming up that says he wants to stand next to him, but really he wants to stand in front of him and lead it, because white people feel like they're the best leaders. White people feel like they know what's best for black people. That's all Adam 22 is. That's all Vlad, all these motherfuckers. I'm not saying they're not cool, but in the back of their mind, they think you seen for Vlad to come out his mouth, bro. The kind of shit that's happened to black people. Check this out. The Holocaust, I don't give really a fuck. It didn't happen anyway. Those people were on fucking camps drinking warm beer, bologna sandwiches. Those were Ukrainians and other people that was happening to that just took pictures. Those weren't Jewish people. But let's pretend it did happen. The Holocaust happened for 5 years, bro, and then it was over. For Vlad to know all the history of slavery and how it's been going on for 400 plus years, how there's still, the treatment hasn't changed, redlining is still going on. They just don't have to redline anymore because it's a black neighborhood. It's codes now about word that they don't have to draw red lines over neighborhoods anymore. For him to know the banking system is set up for not to get black loans, all this shit, he knows. He knows that black people don't own hip hop. For him to know all this shit, but still come out the side of your neck and say black people don't deserve no money, they deserve a free education, and you know education values really to nothing in this country. You're Jewish, Vlad. You know that's where you got where you at. But you ain't gonna say that. You're gonna say it's because you got a college education. Come on, bro. Let's just keep it 100.